Chapter number 1, Mastering Your Inner Game. Have you ever wondered where and how does a great speech and presentation start and begin? Well, in my interactions with a lot of clients, I believe where the greatest presentations and speeches happen is not on the script, is not on the stage, but really what happens in between your 2 ears, in your mind. I'm a great believer of what you manifest in your mind, it will truly happen on the stage and within your audience in the very space that you deliver your speeches and presentations. And this is really a founding belief that I carry and I work with when I'm working with a lot of clients, which is what is the mindset by which you are approaching this entire speaking engagement if you are invited to speak for one. Fundamentally, a lot of people have this problem about speaking. So when they approach a stage, they're always fearful about how people think of me. Would I be intelligent enough? Would I be smart enough? But may I suggest that all of this are not the best kind of mindset that you should embrace. So this is what you should do. Firstly, be always having a mindset that I am there to serve my audience. So let me share with you a quick tip and story I had. There was one time when I was in India to give a speech, and I met a friend from South Africa. His name is Bongani. So Bongani told me, Ben, do you know what's the magic of public speaking? I said, no. Magic? What magic? He said, Ben, imagine if you're speaking to 50 people for 10 minutes. You're not just speaking for 10 minutes. You're speaking for 50 times 10, which is 500 minutes. 500 minutes of the world's time invested right here, right now to hear you speak. And that really changed my mind because I used to think that speaking is a frivolous. It's just something that you go up on stage to have fun. But when I realized that each and every time I'm up on stage, I'm taking not just the time of the engagement, but the number of people there to listen to me, to be really attentive to me, to listen to how my words could potentially shape their paradigm and change their world, I know it is an important job. So that's the first tip, to always have a mindset to serve people. The second tip that I will share with you is really work on your PME plus S. What does PME plus S really means? So oftentimes when people go up on stage, mastering your inner mind and inner belief is not just also what happens inside, but after you handle what's inside, everything on the outside. P stands for your physical. Are you physically aligned and properly in the right decorum? Have you done your hair for the ladies? Have you, of course, put on your makeup? You never want to present a less than better or less than the best version of yourself on stage. So physically, your decorum, making sure everything about how you manage yourself, you conduct yourself is ready. Second is the M. M stands for your mental state. Your mental state is really what happens like clockwork in your mind. And sometimes when I work with my clients, what's happening in their mental state is a whole mental garble and it's convoluted, it's complex, it's not clear. You never want that to happen when you're on stage. Can you imagine if an audience asks you a question, it sets you, it derails you, and then you're lost? That would not happen if you are very clear as to how you know where the clients are, your audience are, and where you want them to lead them to as a mental trajectory. The third thing is E, your emotional state. I don't know about you, but every time I go on stage, there's always a lot of emotional battle inside, whether in my mind and my heart. But what I try to do is always to build up this emotional reservoir. This concept of emotional reservoir is, when people praise you, they acknowledge you, they're putting in positive energy into you. When people criticize you, people laugh at you, people don't give you the kind of acknowledgement, they're taking off negative energy, negative emotions from that pool. So what I do before every major important engagement is I'll look at people, objects. I'll look at a photo of my grandma who passed away in late 2013 and I remind myself how much she loved me, how much she wanted so much for me. I looked at my wife and I realized how blessed, how fortunate I am to be married to what a beautiful lady. I look at my parents and I sort of recall what they did to really make sure who I am today. And last but not least, your S, your spiritual. And that really ties into the first belief of you're being there to serve. So I don't really bother or care whether you're religious as a person, but most importantly, if you have a spiritual element, something that's bigger than yourself to latch onto, to believe into, such that it guides you in each and every speech and presentation, you know that, hey, I'm just a vessel I'm here to deliver a bigger message. It's not about impressing people. It's about to express a message that is really important, is dear to them. Then everything else will handle by itself. So that's the second tip. P, your physical, M, your mental state, and E, your emotional state, and ideally having a spiritual element, a spiritual state to bind them all. I hope you've gained a tip or two about public speaking or presenting in public through this video series. If you're looking for more tips, strategies, framework, checklists, don't forget to check out my book, or if you want more resources on public speaking, or even to find out what it takes to work with me, click on the link below and you'll find out all the information you need right here, right now.